Hello students, welcome back. So today I'm going to teach you all the topic process of double fertilization in plants. Let's go. So what exactly we mean by fertilization? That is fusion of the male gamete with the female gamete to form a diploid zygote within the embryo sac. जैसे कि आप देख सकते हो, the first step जो कि पहला step है इस process में, that is growth of the pollen tube. So let us discuss about this process. Pollen grain attached to the stigma. Then from the stigma, the water and sugar get releases, and hence the pollen pistil interaction takes place. In pistil interactions, what happen? The stigmatic secretions, which mainly comprises, as I said, water and sugar, it provides nutrition to the pollen, and hence the pollen germination takes place. You can see in this diagram, further in this diagram, that how the pollen tube is coming out from the pollen grain and it enters the embryo sac through a pore. That pore we call it as micropyle. You know that what happens inside this pollen tube? Actually, the pollen grains, where generative cells undergo mitotic division and leads to the formation of two male gametes. You can easily see in this diagram that how the pollen tube, inside the pollen tube, two male gametes are formed because of the mitotic division in the generative cells. Next, what happened? That entry of the pollen tube into the ovule, isn't it? So once it reaches the ovary, the pollen tube enters the ovule through the micropylar end. You can see this arrow. This is what the micropylar end is. Of the pollen tube enters through the micropyle, and it actually pushes through the micropyle and finally pierces the egg apparatus. And now the double fertilization start taking place, which is a unique characteristic of endosperms, in which the participation of both male gametes taking place. So one of the male gamete, as we know, that fuses with the egg to form the diploid zygote, and this process we call it as SYNGAMY. The other male gamete fuses with the two polar nuclei to form triploid, and we call it as TROPHOMIXIS.